He is one of the most dedicated sports car racing people you ever find, and if you're fortunate enough to have him on your side, he's the greatest friend you'll ever have.
You know, when you're a kid and you're reading about Jimmy Clark or Youth Laurie, whoever it may be, you really want to believe in those people. You really want to think they're special, and it's that sparks your imagination and makes you want to go racing. And Rob's exactly the same. He's somebody you can believe in, and somebody who sets the standard.
You know, I always enjoy driving for Dyson. I always feel like I'm sort of part of the family, even though I've only just done a few races with them, and I would dearly love to come back and do some more with them. And Rob, you know, is fantastic. 30 years in the sport, 30 years here at Lime Rock, fantastic, and I hope one day to be able to come back and drive for you again.
Tonight I can't say anything bad about Rob, because Rob's just a class act.
When you talk about, 30 years, and frankly, it's the first time I've really started to take a kind of a critical look at 30 years, mostly as a result of the past week of people asking me about 30 years. And a lady who was doing a film piece, she said, what did you ever think it was going to last 30 years? And I said, no. She said, did you ever think it was going to last for any length of time? And I said, no. And she said, now that it's 30 years, are you thinking about it differently? I said, no. And it's one of those endeavors that it's not a halfway thing. You're either in it or you're out of it. And I just found that it was just very fulfilling. I found it very interesting. I love the driving. I love the testing. I love putting the team together, creating the atmosphere where everybody could succeed, including me in the car. And that's how it started. And we just kept on going, actually. And one thing led to another and led to another. And I never thought about it, never counted the seasons. Gee, it's this long and that long. I never bothered to think about it that way. It was just kind of, hey, let's go racing.
Over the last 30 years, there's been a lot of manufacturers that have come and gone from these paddocks. There's been many more teams that have come and gone. There's a countless list of characters that have come and gone. And there's one thread through the fabric of professional sports car racing that has been there throughout that time. And it's got the Dyson logo on it.
Dad and I were just playing up here on the hill, and we were watching the cars go around, and I remember Dad saying to me, next year we're going to do this. And now that I think about it, that was 82.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much my whole life, at least all of my life I can remember. And I think it's a massive milestone. When you really think about the longevity of teams and who's out there, it's a pretty esteemed group, and I'm just proud to be part of the legacy of carrying it on. I mean, when you think about the other guys who were racing when we started, who are still racing, it's pretty elite company. You've got Penske, you've got Roush, you've got the Petties, Rick Hendrick, Frank Williams, Ron Dennis. It's a really small kind of group, and that's when it's pretty humbling to realize that you've been able to have that kind of continuity and remain in the sport at a high level. And I'm just so grateful that we've been able to do it and to succeed at the level we have. And you wouldn't be doing that without the team you've got around us. And we've been fortunate to always have great energy within the team, and we're always pushing forward. So you never really get too caught up in thinking about what you've done, because in this game, that's the enemy, is to be thinking about the last corner or the last weekend. You always have to be thinking ahead with the next car or the next corner and the next session. So life ends up going by pretty quickly.
If you were going to have a stereotypical race team, you definitely wouldn't look to Dyson. It's you look kind of up and down pit row, and you've got so much. I won't say pretension, because that sounds like a put down, but maybe taking on airs, and Dyson doesn't do that. Dyson, this is who we are. We're gonna kick and scrape for every second we can out there. And then we're going to have fun as much as we can doing it too, and we kind of wear that on our sleeves, I guess. But if we're happy, you'll see it, and if we're not happy, you'll probably see that too. But we're always honest.
Look at Rob's face. I don't know how anybody can say, you know, he's smiling. We've had so much fun together.
No, not really. We had to go to the pub a lot, you know, drive some of the best cars in the world, fly all over the world, meet interesting people, eat in great restaurants, stay in fantastic hotels, but you know, somehow we coped.
I really can't believe that I'm this close to such great machinery. I just can't believe it. I mean, I'm sitting back saying, gosh, this is, as a little kid, I just wanted to be as close as I could to be to these cars. And now I've been living it for a long time, and I still can't believe it. Sometimes I pinch myself when I go into a racetrack about how the traveling to the racetrack is always a little bit of an issue, but once you get there, walking through the gate, knowing that we got a race coming up, I mean, it's just something special. It really is.